This sucks, man. You're hanging out with a girl that you really like and you're not sure if she wants you to kiss her. Kiss me. Well, my name's Matt Artisan, and by the end of today's video, you'll know the exact signs of whether she wants you to kiss her or not. And make sure to stay until the end of the video because I'm even gonna give you a bonus tip of exactly what to do if she rejects your kiss attempt to avoid humiliation and easily try again. Now, the very first thing that you wanna look out for is she maintaining strong eye contact? Now, of course, it's natural for her to be looking at you when you're both talking, but it doesn't always mean that she's thinking about kissing you.
I decide when is it, and it's all about connection.
But if you do keep noticing that she keeps staring at you when there's a lull in the conversation, especially if she keeps alternating between staring at your lips and staring at your eyes, then she definitely wants to kiss you.
If she's looking, yeah, and if she's smiling a lot, like me right now.
So I should kiss you?
Some women even know how to communicate this desire with a look that can raise the sexual tension from about 10 to 100. It's uncanny. For example, I approached this gorgeous Russian girl that was sitting on a park bench in high heels and a sundress. And we really hit it off. We went to a few venues and then eventually back to my place, where we were sitting on my bed and I was showing her a couple tunes on my guitar. And as I showed her a few chords, I was sitting behind her helping her grip the guitar properly. She looks behind me and looks straight at my eyes and then at my lips without saying a word. 100% I knew it was time to kiss her. Now, beyond eyes, the second thing that you should pay attention to if you want to know whether she wants you to kiss her is her body language. Usually when a girl is thinking about making out with you, she unconsciously begins to start getting closer to your face. Now, she may not even realize that she's doing it, but if you notice that during the date, she keeps scooting closer or leans towards you, those are usually pretty clear signs that she wants you to escalate and kiss her. For example, I was recently on a date with a girl and we went to go play pool or billiards, and when it was her turn to shoot, she would stall and just kind of look at me and get closer and closer. It was only a few minutes into the date, so I was like, should I kiss her right now? It's been like 10 minutes since this date started. But she was making it very clear because she kept getting closer and closer to me, even though it was her turn to take a shot. So of course, I went for it. Next on our list of signs to notice is if she finds reasons to touch you. Now, this doesn't mean that she gropes you. That's not something you should really expect from women. But if she seems to always have some reason to touch your arm, your leg, or maybe your shoulder every now and then, it's usually a pretty clear sign that she wants you to go for it. For example, I was on a date with a girl, and as we started walking from one venue to the next venue, she would walk right next to me so that our bodies were touching, our arms were touching. There was no space in between us. In fact, we were kind of pushing each other a little bit, like she was running into me. So of course I put my arm out like this to facilitate more touch, and it was very easy to just stop her midway as we're walking and then just go for a kiss. The next sign is similar, but it's really the opposite. It's how she reacts to you touching her. You just notice to how she reacts when you touch her face, her neck, or her arms, and if she doesn't flinch, instead she kind of leans into it, and it's pretty obvious that she enjoys it, then you can be pretty sure that she wants you to take it up a notch and lean in for a kiss. So for example, maybe you tuck her hair back over her ear and she kind of bashfully looks away and then just looks at you. But she didn't pull back. Instead, maybe she even leaned in a little bit and she gives you a little shy smile. Then I'd say there's a pretty good chance that she's expecting you to kiss her. Don't disappoint. Now, the next sign is a little bit more subtle, but very important. It's if she does things to draw attention to her lips. Sometimes women don't even realize that they're doing it, but it often communicates that she's thinking about kissing. So if you notice that she's constantly moistening her lips with her tongue, biting her lips, lightly touching her lips, or anything else that makes you look down at her lips, then you can be fairly sure that she's probably not even listening to one word of what you're saying because she's envisioning your lips on hers. So go on ahead and make her fantasy a reality. Now, this next sign is one that you won't see a lot of women do, especially the shy ones, but it's one that communicates just as clearly as the others that she wants you to kiss her. And that's if she compliments you a lot. Now, this doesn't mean that she's gonna go on and on about how your bottom lip reminds her of a pomegranate seed. But for example, if she tells you how great you smell, or how that shirt color suits you nicely, or how you're really handsome, or maybe she touches your arms and she tells you you have nice biceps, that's a pretty big indicator that she's attracted to you. So as long as the timing is right, there's a good chance that if you go for a kiss, she will reciprocate. Now, before we keep going, keep in mind, these are not like 100% telltale signs signs. There are chances that she could be giving you what seems like a pretty obvious sign, but when you go for the kiss, she turns her head. That's why, remember, at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you exactly what to do if and when that happens, so that you can save face and even make her more attracted to you. That's right, her rejecting the kiss can actually make her more into you. Now, another sign that she probably wants you to kiss her is if she lingers. For example, it's the end of the date, and instead of just hugging you and then walking back to her house as soon as possible, maybe she hugs you and then she stands there for a couple seconds and she looks down and she starts getting all shy and bashful. The point is, just watch how she behaves after you say goodbye to her. If she jets into her building like she can't leave you fast enough, that's not a very good sign. Or maybe she just had a bowel emergency. Stop taking girls to Taco Bell on your date. But if she lingers for a little while or she keeps looking back at you, that could mean that she wants you to go back and kiss her. Which, if you think about it, is pretty damn romantic. You running after her and telling her, wait a second, I need to do something. And you go for a kiss. Pretty smooth. Although, depending on how long your date actually lasts, if it's like an hour and that's it, then at the end of the date, that might be a good time to kiss her. But if it's a longer date, if you're hanging out for like 2 to 4 hours, usually there'll be some better moments in the middle of the date where you could have gone for the kiss and had a super hot makeout session, which is why I recommend go to multiple venues on your date and pick one in the middle or towards the end of the date that really sets the mood. It could be like a lounge with low light, or maybe it's a rooftop bar with an amazing view of the city, or maybe it's a romantic walk through the park and there's somebody playing a violin and you twirl her around and then you go for a kiss. When you create exciting ways to have movie moments like that, a sexy tongue wrestling match is bound to happen. Now, the next sign is definitely a sign that means you need to get off your butt and go for a kiss. And that is if she tries to get you alone. If she's inviting you over to her place, or she wants to come over to your place, or you meet her at a bar or club and she is totally willing to leave her friends and go hang out with you. It's not 100%, just like none of these signs are, but there's a high chance that she wants you to kiss her, because she probably just doesn't want you to do it in front of her friends. Because what she's doing is giving you the privacy so that you'll feel comfortable making a move on her without the intrusion of her friends or a crowd awkwardly staring at you. Now, this next sign is one of the most important, and it's not a sign that she gives you, which is kind of weird because that's what this video is all about.
That's weird.
But let me explain. The sign is this: if you start thinking about it. That's right. If you start thinking, maybe I should go for a kiss. I feel like it's time to kiss her now. If that thought pops up, the answer is probably yes. Sometimes I go for a kiss even when I'm not actually seeing any of these signs, because guess what? We're guys. We kind of suck at noticing any signs that women give us. Women are just way more intuitive than us guys. By the time you start thinking maybe I should kiss her, she's probably given you like 5 of these signs. And now maybe she's getting annoyed that you haven't made a move. So what I like to do is personally not really look for any of these signs. Obviously, if I get one of them where she's looking straight down at my lips, I'm gonna go for a kiss. But if it's already a few hours into the date and we're really vibing, we like each other, and I haven't actually noticed any of these signs, but I notice that I'm starting to think about kissing her, then I'll usually just go for it. But I do it in a way that's very respectful. I don't just like force her to kiss me, no way. I do it slowly. Sometimes I'll say, I probably shouldn't do this, but fuck it. And if she pulls back or turns away, then I just stop. And this is where the magic happens. She will actually become more attracted to you, usually because you had the balls to go for it. You might have just caught her off guard, or maybe she just doesn't want to seem too easy. Maybe she really likes you and she doesn't want you to think that she'll just kiss any guy she hangs out with. Or maybe it's a test. She wants to see how you would react, because guess what? Unfortunately, a lot of guys get all weird, they get bothered by it, they either get really insecure and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, and they get weak and pathetic, or they become total dicks and they're like, what the hell, I buy you dinner and you won't even kiss me? As long as you don't do any of those things, and you're just calm, grounded, and it's no big deal, you just say something like, oh, that's cute, I'll get you later. Or you just change the subject, you don't have to say anything, but you just show that it's no big deal that she didn't kiss you back. So what? Go for a walk, go hang out a little bit more, go to another venue, and then maybe you'll notice one of these signs and you try again in a very respectful way that isn't forceful at all. And what usually happens is the fact that you weren't affected by it, that it was no big deal to you, makes her feel so comfortable and safe. She realizes that you don't freak out if you don't get what you want, which actually, ironically, makes her want to kiss you even more. Now, of course, to make any of this even work, you have to actually have a woman that you can kiss. And I want to help you with that. that. I created a free approach blueprint that shows you exactly how to approach beautiful women in almost any situation, how to create a connection with her and spark attraction almost instantly. I've used this to get 4 or 5 dates per week as I'm just living my life. It hardly takes any time. So make sure to download my free approach blueprint right now. There's a link down in the description and to the right of this screen. My name is Matt Artisan from the Attractive Man team, and I'll see you in the next video.